First, I just want to get just some background here. How does an Ohio State fan end up at the University of Michigan? How did that happen?
The fact of the matter is I ended up going to Michigan because, you know, it was and is a great school, and it had a program in public policy, which is what I wanted to study. So that's why I went to Michigan. The better question is, when I was there, why wasn't I smart enough to keep my big mouth shut come Ohio State-Michigan week? Because those were the dark days of the John Cooper era, where it didn't matter how good Ohio State's team was, they would always find a way to choke it away in that last game of the year. My second year up at Michigan was 1995, and I will remember this forever. Ohio State was 11-0, number 2 in the nation. Michigan was 6-4, 6-5, you know, maybe unranked. The notion that Ohio State could lose that game never entered my mind. It wasn't even a notion that I remotely considered. And so with my University of Michigan student ticket, in the student section with 3 other boneheaded Ohio State fans, we stood there loudly and proudly in the first couple moments of that game with our Eddie George jerseys on. And history will remember that game as the Tim Biakabatuka game, where Ohio State lost 31-23. Northwestern went to the Rose Bowl. Ohio State's season was dashed. So that's just a long-winded way of me saying that the bigger mistake I made wasn't necessarily going to Michigan, but it was not being smart enough to conceal my fanhood, because by the fourth quarter of that game, there was more than a little bit of beer thrown down upon us from 50 rows back.
What kind of memories do you have other than being a student? What does the rivalry kind of mean to you?
As mayor, it's interesting being the mayor of a town with so much unique history that involves this game. But on a personal level, I grew up in a family that enjoyed football. Growing up in North Toledo, tossing the Nerf football around with the kids in the neighborhood, it was always Ohio State, Michigan, and we were always, that game was always top of mind. At various times in my life, I was Art Schlichter, I was Jim Carsados, I was Chris Spielman, and then I think I kind of aged out of pretending like I was someone else. But those are my heroes back in the day.
I have pulled up on my phone every Michigan-Ohio State score forever. Okay, and the word is that you have an incredible memory and you can remember every single score from every year dating back to when?
I would say easily 1968 when Bo Schembechler started at Michigan, the first year of the 10-year war.
I'm just going to throw out a year and you give me the score. This is, I promise this is all on the up and up, all on the up and up here. Okay, let's go 1980.
1980, Michigan won 9-3 in Columbus. That was a winner-take-all game for the Rose Bowl, and Michigan beat Ohio State. And Ohio State ended up having to play Penn State, I think, in the Fiesta Bowl. But it was 9-3. Nothing but field goals in that game. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. 1990.
1990, again in Columbus. Again, Michigan wins, this time 16-13, again preventing Ohio State from going to the Rose Bowl.
You're absolutely right. All right, I'm going to test you here. Let's go back a little bit. How about 1972?
72, 14-11, Ohio State over Michigan. The key to that game, 2 huge goal line stands that Ohio State had against Michigan.
93.
Geez, this is, if it's 1990 anything, you're going to get a groan from me, because this was an undefeated, though once tied Ohio State team. They went up and, again, a very subpar Michigan team, beat them 28-0. 28-0 to watch.
I'll give you a good one here.
Okay.
1998.
98 was the second of 2 times that John Cooper was able to beat him. That was a 31-16 win in Columbus. It's just one of those games you remember. I could not tell you the score of every Ohio State-Penn State game over the last 30 years, but I can tell you Ohio State-Michigan, because it just means a little bit more.